Hi, my name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com, host on the Rinse Radio Network, co-founder of Doomcast. Please visit WideAwakeNews.com, Rinse.com, and Doomcast.com. Support independent media. If we look at the situation inside of Iraq right now, we can think of one word: blowback. This is a monster of our own creating. Baghdadi, he's being touted as the next Osama bin Laden. Baghdadi, who was an American prisoner between 2005 and 2009 before we decided to release him from Camp Boka out of Iraq. Now, when he finished his stint, 2005 to 2009, we don't know what happened with him and the CIA. We don't know what happened with him and U.S. officials, but we do know that he went to work inside of Syria, where he tried to topple, along with the rest of al-Qaeda, the al-Nusra Front, tried to topple Assad. Now, we know that in the year 2012, the President of the United States, Barack Obama, said that the coalition inside of Syria was diverse enough, so much so that he lifted a small arms ban that prohibited anybody in the United States from knowingly trading arms with terrorist supporting organizations or directly with terrorists themselves. In 2013 September, the president, along with John Kerry, convinced that the Syrian rebels were mostly, in John Kerry's word, only 15 to 25% al-Qaeda. Most of them were truly freedom-loving, democracy-seeking patriots that wanted to topple Assad. So they lifted the embargo and they decided it was time to provide materiel support, aka weapons, in order to topple Assad. Well, guess what? Assad won. Assad wasn't deposed. Assad was victorious. So you have this group that was al-Nusra Front, aka al-Qaeda, also known as the terrorists that are killing Americans, also known as the enemy that we're all supposed to be afraid with, headed by Baghdadi, who decided that instead of Syria, which was a lost cause, he was going to trounce across the border into Iraq. And this is the current condition that we see Iraq in today. Thousands of people have already been butchered. 5,000 Americans have died in order to liberate Iraq. Iraq, a country that in 2003 had not one member of al-Qaeda in it, had no terrorist organizations that were based inside of that country, had no weapons of mass destruction, and had no threat against the United States of America, had nothing to do with 9/11. 5,000 dead Americans later, 500,000 dead Iraqis later, and several years of posturing by the West as if we're in some sort of condition to spread and bring freedom and democracy to this region of the world. We have Baghdadi, a product of the West, marching through Iraq, subjugating women to the old rule of Islamist extremism, killing people by the thousands, on its way to Iraq, or on its way to Baghdad rather, and the 600 football field size U.S. embassy with 5,000 U.S. embassy workers who are just going to potentially be facing down the barrel of an AK-47 or an M4 or a Stinger missile that we know now is provided by them, to them, by us, the American taxpayer. It's time to wake up and realize every time you see a pundit come on television talking about how we need to stop this before it spreads any further through Iraq, we need to realize who created them in the first place. It is our meddling. It is this notion that we can spread freedom and democracy to places in this world that have been under civil war of one form or another for 1,000 years. And more importantly, looking at the real goal of why we want to continue to destabilize these regions of the world. Inevitably, it ends up being corporate special interest. We need to realize that this must stop in our name, because it's one failure after another, leading to more carnage, more death, more destruction, and it will eventually, unfortunately, God willing it won't, but it's inevitable that it's going to end up on our shores. Stories are attached. That's all I got.